What's happening? Don Taylor here checking in. Today is Wednesday, January 11th. We are on day 8 post surgery, so day 8 at home. I wanted to give you guys some updates. So, honestly, since I left an update yesterday, we've had more setbacks. Um, so, if you recall, went to the doc yesterday and from my weekly checkup, and they discovered that the bleeding I had, whatever that was, Tuesday night, Monday night, um, was a result of a blood clot or something coming off and then it reclotting, and they were really worried about it. It was pretty urgent in their mind. They said I was right on the cusp of having to go right to the operating room and get it recauterized, or hopefully be able to let it take care of itself naturally, which is the path that we are taking. Um, and so, as a result, I've scaled way back on the foods. Nothing that would potentially cause that clot to come off. It's risky, and they were adamant about making sure that I was aware of that. Just so you know, if that thing were to come off, in a very worst case scenario, a person can bleed a lot. And I guess if you could bleed out, although it's not likely, but you start bleeding uncontrollably there, you got to get to an ER. However that happens, they got to stop it in the middle of the night, and then you got to go right to surgeries where they can cauterize it and fix it. I want to avoid all of that. I want nothing to do with any of that. Um, so we are following their directions, obviously, and going down that road. And so that has reduced us to, basically a liquid diet. At this point, we're down to Jello and water. Here is the other setback that's completely independent of that blood clot that has happened. So that this would have occurred no matter what. My healing site is getting far more sensitive. If you recall, I was at a point where I was eating sunny side up eggs and pancakes. I was able to eat Campbell's chunky soup. I was able to eat even mac and cheese and yogurt and pudding and some things that are thicker. I was not trying to push it too much. It's always been sore and sensitive, but since my body was able to take those things, we did it. Well, that is no longer the case. That healing site, I mean, I cannot even tolerate ice. Ice equals fire right now. I don't know why. It's so hypersensitive. I mean, if you've cut things on your body before, you know that as we heal, things just sort of move around and change. It's a terrible spot in your body to have a big open wound like this, and there's a lot of referred pain that comes along with it. So, I was able to eat split pea soup by Progresso, a pretty mild, soup, very little chunks in it. We could even smash down the few peas or whatever that were in there. Well, now, and I didn't even realize that there was some sort of spice that they added to this very basic soup. That soup turned my throat into fire today. So that's gone. I can't eat that anymore. So my throat has just become hypersensitive. In fact, the Jello, I can't even have the Jello refrigerator cold. I have to let it sit out and get room temperature before I can actually eat it. Um, Anything citrus is out of the question. Warm. Warm almost feels a little bit better than cold, but just be prepared. I'm sure this is something that everybody goes through. But man, I can feel it on the roof of my mouth, the hard palate. It certainly gets sore down in the lower area where your tonsils, my tonsils, used to be, and then it radiates into my jaw. It does go up into my ears, makes you very uncomfortable. So it sucks. I guess the good news is this ties in with the whole time frame that the docs say is our biggest window for bleeding, which is day 7 through 10. So today is day 8, Wednesday is day 8, tomorrow, Thursday, is day 9, Friday is day 10. So by the time I wake up on Saturday morning, I'm hopeful that, obviously nothing has happened with the blood clot and that just went away. And when that is the case, that I'll be lucky enough to be able to go back and try some soft pancakes and eggs and start to get back to some real food again. So um, just wanted to let you know what's going on day 8. I certainly wish you all the best in your recovery. I appreciate the thoughts and prayers, and we'll check in with you tomorrow. Have a great night.